Welcome back, everybody, to the Mind of Mando. I believe this is the fourth episode 4. Good morning, everybody. Still morning over here from when I'm recording this. Music in the background, if you're able to hear it from time to time, it's going to be Pearl Jam, throwing it back old school. I used to, in some of my other channels, I used to be able to actually throw the music that I was listening to directly into the editing process, so you'd be able to hear it a lot more clear. It actually it sounded a lot better. If you ever find my old channel, either it's prime examples on that one. The thing is, when I used to do that was back in 2016, and back then YouTube's whole copyright stuff wasn't as strict as it is now. So I was able to do it a lot more liberally. Now it's just like even if they catches like a fraction of a millisecond of somebody else's song, or what could sound like somebody else's song, your stuff gets how is it called? It's not copyright strike unless the person wants to. It gets demonetized. I mean, I know I'm barely starting so I'm not expecting a single penny from doing these right now. I do it because I want to, but it's like, I love music, and the music I listen to could be really tough and rough like metal, or it could be something to vibe to. Yesterday we listened to Skyrim Atmospheres, if you guys were able to hear that in the background, and today, get the day started. It was a really good morning, so why not put on some Pearl Jam. Hope you guys are fans too. Very good morning this morning, actually. I ended up waking up pretty early in the morning to use the bathroom, but I realized that I wasn't even sleepy anymore. And it was still, like I said, it was still very early. The sun was barely starting to peek over the horizon. And I thought to myself, hey, why not just go to the gym? So I ended up just getting ready, grabbing water, and going to the gym and working out for a while, and it felt really good. Got back, took a shower, and my lady didn't even start till later today, so I ended up actually excuse me, I burped. I ended up actually taking her to this one place that we enjoy for breakfast. It's reasonably priced. I wouldn't say cheap for what you get, but it's delicious. We became huge fans of it. It's called Eggies, Egggies, and everything like that. I'm pretty sure, because we've been to multiple different locations, I'm pretty sure that they're affiliated with this place called Breakfast Republic, because, like I said, there's multiple in the county of San Diego. But every single time you see a Breakfast Republic, you're guaranteed to see an Eggies right next to it, literally right next to it. So that's just my whole thing. Other than that, it's very delicious. Delicious sandwiches, delicious coffee, and delicious hash browns. It was a great way to start our morning. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's what we just did so far. I don't get into work till later, and I was like, you know what? Why not just talk to you guys? Well, I just say what's up on my mind and everything like that. So, what was I saying? The thing is, when I uploaded the third episode yesterday, I think it got a little bit worse with the sound quality, because I remember listening through it and everything like that, and like there's like the shh noise in the background and everything. If it sounded louder when I was listening to it on my phone, and I was like, it's more prominent than the first 2 episodes. Not only that, I looked at my old channel and everything like that, and keep in mind, I'm still using the same exact equipment: mic, cover for the microphone stand, the phantom power, along with the cables. It's all the exact same. And for my old channel, I never noticed that noise in the background before. But then again, I may not have noticed it because, like I told you back then, I was able to actually put the music in the background while editing my videos. So it could be possible that the noise wasn't as noticeable or noticeable at all because of that music, but it could also be entirely possible, and this is the part I'm actually leaning towards the most. It could actually be one of the cables, the one that connects from the phantom powered thing to my camera, could possibly be like giving out and everything. So I ordered a new one today. It should be here by tonight. So this is episode 4. So episode 5, I'm gonna be using that new cable, and it should, how do you say it? It should work. It should work completely fine and everything like that. So yeah, here's to that. So how do you say it? I ended up trying to find out the correct one, and I realized that a lot of the ones that are supposed to have like the auxiliary jack thing, were the size of the jack on my camera. So it was a pain to locate it, but I finally did. In other news, let's just speak about what's been going on for the past like week or two or so. Time flies, so I just lost track of time. And that would be the whole war, well, the invasion, as everybody's calling it, that's happening at Ukraine right now by Russia. And it's becoming crazy, you know? It's like, this is our history, you know? Those who are my age, maybe a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger, we've lived through a lot, surprisingly, looking through it all and everything. Every generation had their events that, you know, are associated with their generation. And these are just ours, you know? I mean, I'm not even 30 yet. And it's just been one thing after another, one yearly illness after another, one war after another, and it's insane. And I feel like it's more prominent now, and I was speaking to my buddy about this. I feel like it's more prominent now than it's ever been in the past. The fact that one country is invading another country that's not even close to the US, when I'm talking about, like, you know, physically it's not close to the United States. We're so into it, we're so invested in it because of the times we live in. I mean, we live in the golden age of technology. Like, I'll call it that, because we have super skinny, slim cell phones that literally hold the world's information inside of it. Touch screen, buttons are basically obsolete at this point, you know? And how do you call it? We just carrying that in our pocket like it's nothing. Imagine this, like 50, 60 years ago, that was deemed impossible, you know? That was just like, what? How do you know all this stuff? What do you mean you have this huge computer? It's just fit in your pocket and weigh practically nothing, you know? It's insane how time works that way. But because of that, it also comes with the whole, we get news a lot faster. Back in the day, like before even Morse codes, information was passed through letters, whether it be like a courier traveling place to place to deliver letters, or being by land, sea, air. And when I say air, I mean like carrier pigeons existed. It still took a huge chunk of time to get information from one area to another. I mean, be it days, weeks, more, and a lot more likely months and years. It would still take a lot of time. And I mean, if we were still living with that systems from back then implemented today, it's very likely that to this point we probably still wouldn't know that Russia was doing that to Ukraine and everything like that. We would still be living our daily lives. It probably wouldn't be until like 2 months later or something that we'd finally catch wind of it. And that's just how it used to work. But now it's just instantaneous. And it's not even just limiting to us knowing that it's happening. It's allowing us to see things happening. you know, because it's just like, it's one thing if somebody be like, yeah, you know, and then they did this to us and then this happened, yada yada. It's another thing that you have nowadays where people are, who have phones, who have cameras, just recording things as they're happening and posting them online, and then we're seeing it. We're seeing it firsthand. Well, not firsthand, but we're seeing it right there. Hey, this happened. Look at that. I can save this video, or I can replay it, save and replay, whatever. And it's happening. There's no denying that it already happened and everything like that. We have the evidence right here. And it's like, I feel like technology is such a huge benefit for us. Really, it's such a huge benefit for us, because it allows us to just stay updated in basically anything and everything. And it's just, that's why we feel that this is huge. This is affecting us personally too, because it's like we're watching it. When it first happened, we saw it. When everything was going on in them, we saw it. Press conferences, quotes, everything, we're seeing it happen as it's happening. And you know, it's insane to just think about. It really is. Can you imagine bringing the technological advancements we have now, somehow time traveling back then, like even to like the 1700s, late 1700s, when the 13 colonies, when they were fighting against, you know, the British Empire, and just showing them what we have and everything. It's just like, what? How? How'd you do that? You know? And yeah, it's like, I often think about that too. It's just like, how different would life be if we brought modern technology to like centuries in the past, you know, or hundreds of years ago, you know? And it's like, I can't even imagine. I can't even think about it. Maybe a global superpower. I don't know. But, you know, damn. But yeah, no, that's the stuff that's been happening with the whole Russia and Ukraine stuff, and people are speculating what's going to happen further. I just read an article today where somebody wrote like, hey, it's possible that Russia and Ukraine are how do you say it? They're going to declare peace already or something like that. I don't know. And maybe that's just somebody making an article to speculate, but it could also be somebody just being like, how do you say it? Not wishful thinking. Somebody on the inside got information that they're now releasing out, even though I don't think that's likely at all. So yeah, so how do you say it? Who knows what's gonna happen? Everybody's preparing, that's for sure though. Everybody's just, you know, how do you say it? Thinking of the worst case scenario, hoping that it won't happen, but trying to be prepared for it. And it's like, it's really opening up people's eyes and really changing people's perspective of a lot of things in life. And I feel like that's also pretty good, you know, that people are actually being able to weighs the pros and cons on certain topics and just like really be able to apply it in a real life situation, you know. For example, I think I spoke about this in the previous video, where it's gun control and everything like that, where there's politicians, there's citizens, there's cities, counties, states, that you have people going, no one needs an AR-15, no one needs these weapons, no one needs them. It's like, and if you want them, we're gonna have to put heavy gun restrictions. But look what happened when 2020 came along, when the whole pandemic and everything was happening. What was one of the things that started running out of short supply besides toilet paper and hand sanitizer? It was guns. It was firearms. Gun stores were literally not losing stock. They were running out of stock for a lot of like your basic pistols, your firearms and everything like that, your ammunition, because people were flocking into the stores trying to buy them up because they didn't know what was happening. Just like now, we don't know what's going to happen. Back then, they didn't know what was going to happen either. So they decided, hey, you know what? I don't like the idea, but we're going to need it to take care of ourselves. And it's like, especially here in California, it was kind of like poetic justice, so to speak, or something like that. I don't know the proper term of this, but it's like here in California we have heavy gun laws, a lot of heavy gun laws. Um, and one of those laws is when you go to a place that sells firearms, you have to fill out the paperwork, pay, and everything like that. But they got to run a background check on you on top of 10 days. You got to wait 10 days to get your firearm, and that's a huge restriction. And people are like, oh, man, this sucks, but yeah, sure, whatever. When 2020 showed up, when the pandemic showed up, when everybody started buying guns and everything, there's some people who were for those laws, for those restrictions, who would go and buy a firearm, and the person selling them was just like, okay, well, now you gotta wait 10 days. And they're like, what, 10 days? You can't give it to me now? And this is like, no, that's the law. We gotta wait 10 days. And people would be like, what if I just gave you extra money to give me the firearm right now? It's like, no, that's breaking the law. The law says you have to wait 10 days before you can retrieve your firearm. And it's like, wow, that kind of sucked. And it really started really looking at people's, opening people's like minds and everything. Like, really 10 days? It's like 10 days we gotta wait. And like for anybody else who thinks 10 days isn't a big deal, I understand why people may have put in that 10-day limitation. I mean, restriction. Maybe somebody was trying to buy a firearm to do something bad, and 10 days would probably give them that time to rethink what they want to do or anything. But it's also when you have times where you feel uneasy, scared, because you don't know what's going to happen to you. You feel like your life or the life of those you care about are in danger. 10 days can feel like 10 years. And, it's just, there's pros and cons in all of this. And so that's what's been happening. But one of the craziest things that I've seen now, talking about nowadays with the whole Russia-Ukraine stuff, is people, companies, or anything and anyone that were tweeting out, no one needs an AR-15, no one needs all these firearms, you don't need this, you don't need that, there's no need for it. When this whole Russian-Ukraine stuff started happening, it's like they forgot their stances, and then they were all like tweeting out or whatever, we need to stand by the people of Ukraine. We need to arm them for they to protect themselves. Yada yada yada. Just retweet if you stand with us with this Ukraine stuff and everything like that. And it's like, I thought no one needed it though. No one needs an AR-15. No one needs those firearms. Like no. That's what you said. No one needs it. So why are you saying we should give it to them? Makes no sense. Oh, because it's for protection. You know how different things probably would have been if the stuff that people are advocating to give them now were there for them since the beginning. It's like, I'm not saying it would have changed the course of everything, but it most likely would have had some sort of impact that would have worked in their favor. And it's like, I don't know. It's just stuff that, when every day that passes and more information comes out, or somebody else tweets something different or anything like that, it just makes me really just start thinking and everything. It's just like, it's insane how people can limit themselves to one train of thought because they haven't lived an experience or anything of that sort that really, like, how do you call it, really makes them start thinking, really like impacts them personally. And it's like, it's crazy how there's a lot of people like that. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, you better go out there and experience the unfairness or the harshness of what the world, has in store for everybody. But it's like, you got to understand, just like you have your point of view because of your lived experiences, how you see certain people or see certain things, or you're scared of certain things, or your favorite certain things because of what you personally experience. The same can be said about that person who has the opposite beliefs of you and everything. As long as people aren't advocating for hate, for like, basically trying to do what the big H did back in 1939, all the way to 1945. You know, people have their own experiences. People have lived their own lives with their own situations, which influence the way they thought and saw things, the way they think. And it's just, you know, you can't really try and push people down and expect those same people to respect what you're saying or how you think and everything. So, you know, I feel bad for everything that's happening over there, to be honest, because it's just like, no matter where, how do you call it, warfare goes to, wherever it ends up or starts or anything, there's always going to be innocents. There's always going to be innocents there who wanted zero part of it, who didn't want anything to do with that, but they're dragged in there because of where they live or because of how they were born or anything. And it's just like, you know, you just gotta, I'm not gonna say you gotta tough it out for, like, deal with it. I'm just saying that's the cards you dealt, and I wish everybody the strength and the determination to just find a way to get through it as best and safe as possible. And yeah, that's just what's been churning out these past week or two. I don't know, maybe it's 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks already. Yeah, I'm positive it's been 2 weeks. And yeah, other than that, it's just the same deal as usual. More videos have been coming out. Have you guys watched Donut Operator by any chance? He's a great YouTuber. He breaks down a lot of videos of situations that's happened mainly with law enforcement. And the way he edits and talks about them, they're hilarious. Like, it's insanely hilarious. I love his breakdowns. I love that it's just, you will see YouTubers like Audit the Audit, like AUDIT, the AUDIT, Audit the Audit. He's another one where you just go there and they will analyze every single frame of a situation. They will pause it. They will circle areas. They will bring to your attention what's happening and everything, and they will break it down at such great detail that's just able to be chewed up and processed by anyone. And it's like, wow, you know, these people aren't being here like, oh, they're innocent. You can't blame them because they're in uniform, or you can't blame them because of how they look or whatever. They will be there and be like, look, this is exactly what happened. This is what the outcome was. Do you really believe what big media tells you? You know? It's like big media will tell you anything because of whatever makes the story juicy, profitable, or anything like that. You know? But they just want to break it down to show people. That's it. People will come to their own conclusions. People may stick to their conclusions and everything like that because they don't want to. They either like hit the nail on the head, or maybe they just don't want to listen to an opposing point of view, whatever it is. But their main goal is just to, you know, educate people. And it's like, I highly recommend both of them. Donut Operator used to be in the Navy. He was a police officer. Now he's a YouTuber, and it's great on him. Audit the Audit, I don't know much about him, but it's just, Donut Operator speaks by experience. Audit the Audit also just really tries to keep an open mind. Both of them try and keep an open mind, and you can really tell. Highly recommend both channels, and you know, they're just great. Like their stuff spans from years in the past, like years, and it's all just been entertaining. I mean, I've watched a lot of their videos multiple times in a row, and it's just sometimes when I just want white noise in the background, or I want to watch a video that I know it's going to entertain me while I'm on my lunch or just bored or anything like that, one of those two are the ones that I go to. And it's just, there's a lot. You see a lot of drama, like a lot of drama. But yeah, but that's just the whole thing that I had in my mind for a few days already. And you know, who knows where all those stuff is going to carry on to. Maybe it'll be over before the end of the month. Maybe it won't. But yeah. Also, F is for Family. Bill Burr, such a great freaking comedian. He's one of my favorites ever. and I just barely started watching F is for Family the other day. I never watched it because even though I knew he was the one who like created it, produced it, voices in it, he it never drew my attention. I always thought it was just lame, looked lame, and everything, but it's not. Like it really isn't. It's funny. Oh my god, the first episode just cracked me up, and I think the reason like it cracks me up is because when you watch it, if you're a fan of Bill Burr and his stand-up and his interviews and everything, when you watch the show, you'll see a lot of him in there. Like, I mean, like how he talks, speaks, carries himself on stage or in interviews is what you'll see in there, but as a character, and it's hilarious. It transfers very well, especially for taking place in 1973 or 74, one of those. And it's something that it's just, you know, I love watching it now. My lady thought the same exact way I did, and then when I showed her the first episode, we just start watching it from now on. By the way, she made killer salmon last night with green beans, corn on the side, and some rice. I swear, I thought I was in a 5-star restaurant. But yeah, no, that's really all I can say for right now. I love doing this. Side note, I love talking to this mic and everything. I'm saving up money so I can buy better cables, better microphones, and yeah. So, like I said, as time goes, this is all gonna get better. But I just really had the urge to like speak to you guys right now, just to pass the time. Well, I guess that concludes. I can't even speak anymore. That concludes the 4th episode of Mind of Mando, and thank you guys for sitting here and enduring my voice. All right, see ya.